G'day collectors, Sci-Fi back again with a pretty much an extended edition of the Darktrooper video I just did a couple of days ago. So I'm on days off, I can actually spend a bit more time doing it. Still excited to actually own this, and yeah, so there we go. Looking at it in a bit more natural light as well. It's nice. It's still a damn bendy looking thing. It's all right once you manipulate it a little bit. I've got them all open and whatnot. A couple of things I didn't show. This is why I'm doing this, an extension. Hoping to do a couple of comparisons to other Dark Troopers. But there we go. There he is with his, like so. You can't tilt the head all the way back. I tried and it just popped off. The 6-inch one you can. The ball joint is a bit more malleable and whatnot, but yeah, it still looks good. Still gives that effect. Alright, so yeah, I'll have my 4 all open and I will eventually do a video on all my Mandalorian figures, probably towards the end of the year. If you don't know, I do a end of year video, it'll be 2022, what a year. I normally talk on camera with my face, with a cigarette and a beer, and to sit there and just talk about the year, but I won't do it that year, I don't think, unless Nick, only one Kenobi, he likes them. Do that Sci-Fi, do the cigar and the beer half wasted and talk about rubbish and whatnot. But no, I'll just do it more about my collection because it's a bit more, I can't sit there and swear so much on YouTube anymore because they don't like me. But anyway, so there it is. That's cool. It does stand eventually, and it does. You can actually turn it. But anyway, what am I talking about? So yeah, an extension to the last video, the review, comparison, and why I like Dark Troopers so much. I do. I've been a big follower of them for years. And when they first came out, this was the first one I saw. It's not a Dark Trooper, mind you. There we go. It's a Space Trooper. Yeehaw. That looks a bit familiar, doesn't it? This was from the expanded universe from Heir to the Empire. And yellowy as hell. I'm going to have to do the old peroxide and glad wrap. Thank you, Richard. Star Wars obsessed. I'm going to do it on this one because look at it. That needs the peroxide treatment. Weapon I did not get. I don't remember. It's been so long. This is about a 96 release, I think. Yeah, it's a Heir to the Empire figure. Not a Dark Trooper, but it looks very similar, doesn't it? It's got the big bulky helmet and whatnot. Yeah, it needs a treatment. But yeah, the first one I got, I'm pretty sure. Here we are. This was the Power of the Force Expanded Universe Dark Trooper. Yeah, look at the size of that compared to that. That's just massive. Yeah, so here we go. 10 centimeters or 3.75. I didn't bring Stan with me, but he's at least a good centimeter taller and way wider and a dirty great big weird gun. Now, I first saw Dark Troopers way back in a video game, one of the Dark Forces games where you had to prevent someone from building these things. I don't know, or maybe even one of those, one of the Jedi games with Kyle Katarn in it. Was it Kyle Katarn? Yeah, and suddenly, eventually, these dudes just appear and on Bespin, flying around. They got the dirty great jetpack. And this was released again in the 30th anniversary. But Jesus Christ, these go for a fortune these days. I just had a look on eBay, secondary market. Even the brand new one here is going for 100. This one's going for 150. I didn't look up the Space Trooper. But, yeah. It's weird. I don't know. Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3. But they're all, yeah. So this one has basically got human inside, probably genetically altered, with a really tough exoskeleton made from, I forgot the name of the metal. Something beryllium or beryllium, or I don't know. This is the one. This is a tricky one to get. Thank God I got him. This is the phase 1, but why? It's all droid. There's nothing, and with a big shield. And of course he stands a lot taller. Again, another centimetre taller. But yeah, he was in a legacy pack, I think. Yeah. And a tricky one to find. And so this one's phase 1, supposedly, yeah. But I thought they used humans in an exoskeleton and then they eventually made it to droid. I don't know. But it's cool. I really dig it that they actually used, Dave Filoni with Mandalorian, they brought up a lot of expanded universe, non-canon characters and suddenly made them canon. I loved it, and the Darktroopers, probably more so than any of the other shows. I mean, the fact that Boba Fett got out of the Sarlacc pit and all that sort of stuff, yeah, that was all non-canon. Suddenly made canon in the Star Wars universe. I like it. I do, but yeah, when I first saw the Darktroopers, I just lost my mind. I just went, yeah, what? And then there we go, the last one. This is a doozy. If you haven't seen one of these before, this is supposedly the phase 3 Darktrooper. He is absolutely enormous. He's, again, another centimetre tall. So this guy's probably about 12 centimetres tall, heavy, and he came as part of a Build-A-Droid collection back in about, 2010, 11, I don't know. I never got the figures, the actual the carded figures, like Jason and Janina Solo and a couple others. They were really hard to find. So yeah, this guy was all bits and pieces. Again, comes with a Dirty Great pack there. I forget the line, but they were not easy figures to collect. So I got this one on the secondary market, even back in the day, probably well over 10 years ago now. I picked him up for $100. And a good friend of mine who still chit-chats to me here on YouTube, Mad Wober, Greg, he said he picked one up in a second-hand store for like about $15 American. And I just went, yay. Wow, how cool is that? Because all of these Darktroopers, no matter which ones it is, they're in the 3-digit marks. They're just, 100, 150, 200, 250. Loose, in cards. This one especially here. He is expensive. Yeah, so there we go. So other people like Darktroopers, just like me. He's dirty, he's dusty. He needs a good clean as well. Had him for years. And he doesn't stand up too well if you muck around with him too much. But there we go. All right. So that's my extension on the Darktroopers. Yeah, I'm so glad they made him out in The Mandalorian. You probably won't see these guys anymore in the show in season 3 because they're all pretty much all turned to scrap in season 2. If they do make him again, that'd be cool. I don't know what's happening in season 3. But all right, there we go. That's an extension of my review on the Darktrooper. And I should have some other videos up in about a week or so. I'm getting a whole bunch of custom figures from Mr. Jedi 77 Artie. They're on the way. I don't know when I'll be reviewing them. And Jason, middle-aged Kiwi man collecting Star Wars, is giving me a gift. And I'll definitely do a quick video on that. Thank you, Jason. And remember, if you need anything, I can hopefully reciprocate the offer. All right, guys, all the best. Sci-fi out. And the Force is with you. This is the way.